Welcome aspirants. My name is Sarth Gupta and in today's video I will break down the complete syllabus of UPSC Civil Services examination step by step. We will cover prelims, mains and interview stage. Not only that, I will also share a carefully curated book list divided into the main book list that you must study and also a reference book list that you can use for deeper understanding. So whether you're just starting or revising, this will be your one-stop guide for complete UPSC syllabus. Let's get started. As you all know, civil services is conducted in 3 stages: prelims, mains and interview, which is the final round. Each stage is unique and it demands a different preparation strategy. So let's start with prelims. Prelims consists of 2 papers. The GS paper consists of history, geography, polity, economics, environment and current affairs. The CSAT paper consists of aptitude, logic, reasoning, numeracy, comprehension and basic English language. If you need assistance in understanding the UPSC exam pattern first, then please refer to my earlier guide on UPSC exam pattern. Now comes the real test, the mains examination. It consists of 9 papers, out of which 7 are counted towards your rank. These include the essay paper, the 4 general studies paper, 2 optional papers. The 2 additional language paper are qualifying papers, but you must qualify them in order to get your other papers checked. Friends, now I am going to go deep into the syllabus as it would feel more relevant to the beginners as well as veterans. Let's get into it. First, the essay paper. You need to write essay on multiple topics. Although there is no definite syllabus for essay, it is a cumulative test of knowledge of the entire syllabus. However, the focus has considerably shifted towards philosophical, ethical and social topics. You can learn how to write a coherent, well-structured, multi-dimensional essay in just 15 minutes. In my upcoming video, I will share a step-by-step guide on how to write such a comprehensive essay. General Studies Paper 1, which includes Indian art and architecture, includes Indian painting, dance, puppetry, pottery, music, drama, literature, sculpture and architecture. Ancient history includes prehistoric era, the Indus Valley Civilization, Vedic period, pre-Mauryan period, the Mauryan Empire, Jainism, Buddhism, post-Mauryan dynasties like the Guptas, Harshvardhan and the Southern Dynasty. Medieval history includes the Delhi Sultanate, the struggle for power in North India like Rajputs, Afghans, the Mughals, the Sur Dynasty, the Maratha Empire and the Deccan Sultanate. Modern history includes important events before the revolt of 1857, the revolt of 1857, growth of nationalism in India, the growth of revolutionary and militancy, beginning of mass nationalism and towards freedom and partition. Post-independence history includes nation building, foreign policy, polity, economy, policy on science and technology, state reorganization, economic and land reforms, coalition era, Naxalism, etc. World history includes beginning of the modern world like events of American Revolution, the French Revolution, the events leading to World War I, the events between World War I and World War II, the events of World War II and the events of Cold War. Also, decolonization and redrawal of national boundaries and political philosophies. The society portion includes the Indian society, its salient features, role of women and women's organization, diversity in India, the population and its associated issues, development and its associated issues, phenomena like urbanization, globalization, their impacts, social empowerment, communalism, regionalism, secularism, etc. Now for General Studies Paper 2. Polity consists of historical underpinnings and evolution of constitution, its features, amendment, the basic structure, the union, the state, the center-state relationships, the emergency provisions, the role of governor, devolution of powers, the Panchayati Raj institutions, the comparison of Indian constitution with other countries, various constitutional bodies and posts, statutory, regulatory, and quasi-judicial bodies and posts. Governance includes government policies and its intervention for development, developmental processes and development industry, NGOs, self-help groups, civil societies, e-governance, citizen charter, aspects of transparency and accountability, and role of civil services in democracy. Social justice includes schemes for vulnerable sections, performance of these schemes, mechanisms and laws, institutions for the betterment and welfare of these vulnerable sections, issues related to development and management of the social sector, and issues related to hunger and poverty. International relations includes India and its neighborhood, their relations, bilateral, regional or global groupings or agreements which involve India or affect India's interests, effect of world events, the policies and politics of nations which affect India's interests or Indian diaspora, and important international institutions. General Studies Paper 3 includes Economy. It includes Indian economy, issues related to planning, resource mobilization, growth and development, employment, inclusive growth, budgeting, land reforms, LPG reforms, industrial reforms, inflation, banking, infrastructure and investment models. Agriculture includes major crops, their cropping pattern, crop intensity, etc. Irrigation systems, storage, transport and marketing of agriculture produce, issues related to direct and indirect farm subsidies, minimum support price, the public distribution system, food security, technology mission, animal rearing, food processing and supply chain management. Science and tech includes technological development and their application in day-to-day life, achievement of Indians in the field of science and technology, indigenization, awareness in the field of information technology, space, cyberspace, biotechnology, nanotechnology, defense, and issues related to intellectual property rights. Environment includes biodiversity, its types, its services, the reasons for loss of biodiversity, its conservation, environmental pollution and degradation, environmental impact assessment, and national and international efforts for environment conservation. Security includes linkages between development and spread of extremism, the role of external state, non-state actors, threat to internal security through communication, media, cyber security, money laundering, challenges of border areas, organized crime, terrorism and their linkages, various security agencies and their mandate. Disaster management includes type of disaster, its management and the government initiatives. General Studies Paper 4 consists of attitude and problem solving approach towards each issue and conflict, ethics and human interface, human values and lessons learned from lives of great leaders, attitude, aptitude and the foundational values of civil services, emotional intelligence, contributions of various moral thinkers, sources of ethical values, corporate governance and international ethics. Most importantly, case studies which may be brought upon any or all of the topics mentioned above. Now, the optional subject. The syllabus depends on the optional you choose, but it is said that largely it consists of the syllabus at undergraduate level or maximum at the postgraduate level. Now, the qualifying language papers. For both Indian language and English qualifying papers, the syllabus is up to class 10th literature and grammar. It consists of essay, précis writing, comprehension, translation from English to the language and vice versa. Also, the language paper, the grammar portion would usually contain synonyms, antonyms, fill in the blanks, sentence correction, sentence rearrangement, active to passive voice, etc. Any syllabus is incomplete without a concise book list. But before I give my recommended book list, I will declare that I have no affiliation to any coaching institute, any author or publication. I am merely suggesting these books or these sources because I have found them suitable as your main source or as your reference source. Now here's a book list for your prelims exclusive syllabus, but don't be reserved about it as they are good enough for your mains as well. For polity, your main book can be Lakshmikant and your reference book can be D.D. Basu. For ancient and medieval history, the old NCRTs of R.S. Sharma and Satish Chandra should be your main books, but these should be supplemented from any credible coaching institute material. For modern history, a brief history of modern India by Spectrum should be your main book, but it must be referenced by India's Struggle for Independence by Bipin Chandra. You can also look into Modern India by B.L. Grover. For art and culture, your main books can be the Introduction to Indian Art of class 11th and also of class 12, followed by Nitin Singhania. But if you want to have a complete and holistic understanding of art and culture, you should refer to Facets of Indian Culture by Spectrum, and an even deeper understanding can be brought about by A Wonder That Was India by A.L. Bashan. For geography, you must read all the 4 NCRTs of class 11th and 12th geography, as well as you can supplement it by books of Majid Hussain. Your main book for economy can be Indian Economy by Ramesh Singh, and it can be supplemented by Indian Economy from Vivek Singh. For environment, you must read a coaching institute material. It can be environment from Shankar IAS or also from PMF IAS. For science and tech, the general science portion needs to be covered from science books of class 6 to 10th CBSE and from current affairs. You cannot take CSAT lightly. Hence, you must study CSAT from definite books. Your main source for CSAT can be from Arihant publications or from Tata McGraw-Hill publications. You can supplement them from sources like R.S. Agarwal and M.K. Pandey. In addition to these sources, you must be wondering if coaching notes are sufficient for them or not. I would say yes. In many cases, coaching materials are not only sufficient but better than some of these books. But on a safer side, always refer coaching material notes from a credible institutions and do your market research before investing heavily into them. Now for the mains exclusive syllabus book list. Unfortunately, there aren't many good reference books for mains exclusive syllabus, hence you have to rely heavily on coaching material notes. For essay, you can start by referring to various coaching materials and also collecting newspaper editorials, quotations, real life stories to add in your essays. For post-independence history, Spectrum has added a new portion for post-independence history which you can refer in their book, and you can also refer it from India Since Independence by Bipin Chandra or India After Gandhi by R.C. Guha. But be careful, you might have to make notes for these two books. For world history, you must read Contemporary World History NCRT by Arjun Dev, and you must supplement it by any credible coaching institute material. You can use Norman Lowe as your reference book. For society, you must read class 11th and 12th NCERT books, but they need to be supplemented again from a coaching institute material. For reference, you can read books on society by Ram Ahuja, and you must supplement by National Family Health Survey. For governance, you can read Governance by Lakshmi Kant, but you must also refer to coaching institutes as they give data and schemes and policies in vogue. International relations is not something that can be done only from books. For the basic portion, you can refer the Tata McGraw-Hill publication, but you must supplement it from current affairs. The case is similar for science and technology. However, for both IR and science and technology, you should not ignore the basics. The basics of science and technology can be done from Yellow Book of Vajiram. Security, like IR and science and tech, can be done from Tata McGraw-Hill publication, but again must be supplemented from coaching institutes and current affair material. For reference on security, you can read the magazine EPW. Disaster management can be done from coaching institute material. For ethics, I must recommend Ethics, Aptitude and Integrity by G. Subba Rao, and it can be referenced from lexicon and book by Neeraj Kumar for easy understanding. Friends, one of the most important aspects of UPSC is current affairs. They are directly asked in prelims, they are the backbone of mains, and they are vital for your interview. But here's a catch. You don't need to study everything under the sun. You just need the right sources. Let's go through them. Your main source for newspaper can be the Hindu or the Indian Express, and for your interview you can add Times of India as well. Monthly magazines like Yojana and Kurukshetra are important for diversity, and EPW to keep you updated with economic and political issues. The government publications can be accessed on PRS, which are very useful for political issues, and PIB, which is useful for any update on government schemes or events. A key source for economic updates is the Economic Survey and the Union Budget. For a greater understanding on the government thinking, you can see the Rajya Sabha TV or the Sansad TV and glance through the Niti Aayog reports. But you must be wondering how to manage all these current affairs. For beginners, I will recommend not to start with current affairs right off the bat. This you might feel is contrary to the general recommendation of going through newspaper daily and being connected with the national events. I recommend you this because time is the most precious resource in the UPSC preparation. Initially, when an aspirant has no idea on what is asked and what information is relevant, they waste maximum time on newspaper, giving multiple hours reading news, of which 90% is not useful. Hence, be smart about your preparation. Let the coaching institutes filter out information useful for you. Use this time to build your foundation. Reading static subjects like polity, economics, environment will help you filter out the information useful for you and correlate it to the current affairs. After you have read the basic books of polity, economics, geography, environment, you can pick up current affairs then. Even then, I would recommend you to pick up current affairs provided by coaching institutes. After a few months, when you are finally adept at finding and filtering information useful for civil services examination, then you should pick up newspapers and do time-bound study. Even when you start current affairs, don't take on too many sources. Stick to one newspaper and one monthly magazine. Do not compile current affairs. Try to just minimize it to certain keywords. Revise regularly. Don't wait for last 2 months before your exam as it becomes exceedingly difficult to memorize and retain the information given the exam pressure. This way, you will build a solid repository of facts useful for both prelims as well as mains. The final stage is the interview or personality test. Here, UPSC does not check your information but your personality, the clarity of thought, your morality and decision making skills. However, having greater information definitely adds to impressing the board. For interview, there is actually no fixed syllabus, but usually the questions are asked from the following areas: your detailed application form or DAF. You must prepare it thoroughly, such as knowing your hometown, do a Wikipedia search, knowing your hobbies ins and outs, doing a vast research on your hobbies, your birthplace, going through your state through state BCS books. This will help you a lot in building your DAF. Current affairs must be prepared from newspapers as well as coaching institute material, but I must say that you should add additional newspapers while preparing for current affairs for your interview. Many opinion based questions will be asked on society, governance, ethics. Unfortunately, they can only be prepared by specific sources like Topper's Talk, mock interviews, special help and guidance. Hence, do enroll for mock interviews, prepare with self reflection, and always be updated on the current affairs. I will post another video on how to stay on top of interviews. Do not take the opportunity of interviews lightly, as this will get you into your dream service. Now, to sum it up, the prelims test the breadth of your knowledge. The mains tests your depth and analytical skills, while the interview tests your personality and communication. With structured study plan and the right books, you can definitely crack UPSC. Remember, UPSC is not about studying more and more books. It's about studying the right books the right way. If you found this guide useful, please like, subscribe and share, and do drop your comments below. Beliefs become.